Scientific notation comparing. Let's start with a little warm-up. How many zeros in $1 billion? How many zeros in $1 billion? Well, $1 billion would have 9 zeros, 1 followed by 9 zeros. How about $1 trillion? How many zeros in $1 trillion? Well, $1 trillion is 1 followed by 12 zeros. So let's find the mass of each animal in standard form in grams. We have a giant wasp here. And remember, a gram basically weighs about the same amount as a paper clip. So we have the weight or the mass of a wasp as 8 times 10 to the negative 1. Change that to standard form in grams. We would move the decimal place 1 place to the left. And the average weight of a wasp would be 0.8 of a gram. And that makes sense. That's pretty close to the weight of a paper clip. And a wasp might be just a little lighter. That makes sense. So that's a good comparison. How about an armadillo? Well, what is the mass of an armadillo? 5.4 times 10 to the 4th grams. So let's change that out of scientific notation into standard form. 5.4 times 10 to the 4th. We'll only move the decimal 4 places to the right, and we would get 54,000 grams. So an armadillo, 54,000 grams. Times larger. How do we find out how many times larger one object is compared to another? How do we find out how many times larger one object is compared to another? Are we going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Well, to find out how many times larger something is, we actually want to divide. So let's say we're trying to find out how many times larger the armadillo is than the wasp. How much greater is the mass of the armadillo compared to the mass of the wasp? Well, we can take the mass of the armadillo, 54,000, and we can divide it by 0.8 and get that the armadillo is 67,500 times larger than the wasp. So we're just doing some basic division. Calculator's great for that. How about you guys try a couple on your own? Let's do, you guys find the mass of the ladybug in standard form, 2 times 10 to the negative 2 grams. All right, what do you get for 2 times 10 to the negative 2? We move the decimal 2 places to the left and get 0.02 grams, or 200 grams. And you guys can now find the weight of the cardinal. 4.5 times 10 to the 1 in grams. Find the weight. Well, we're moving 1 place to the right. Multiplying by 10 will move 1 to the right and give us 45 grams as the weight of the average cardinal. Now, what if we wanted to know how many times larger the mass of the cardinal is than the mass of the ladybug? And you guys pause the video here, see if you can figure out how many times larger the cardinal is than the ladybug. All right, we're going to take those two numbers and we're going to divide. We're going to take the 45 grams from the ladybug, and 45 grams from the cardinal, and divide by 0.02, and we get 2,250 times larger. So the cardinal is 2,250 times greater than the weight of a ladybug. So remember, to find out how many times larger something is, we want to use division. Divide our two numbers to find out how many times larger. So we could take that smaller amount, 0.02, multiply by 2,250, and get 45. So we're trying to find the number that we could multiply, and we do that with division. And I hope that helps you guys comparing numbers from scientific notation. Have a great day. OUT spells out.